Morning students, myself Jyoti Rathore from New Catholic Mission School Jhabua, and all my dear and loving students of class 11th, I am welcoming you to the English class. So children, here we are starting our third chapter from our first book, clear? And the name of the chapter is Ranga's Marriage. As the name itself says, this Ranga is supposed to be a person who belongs to southern India. So this Ranga's marriage, we have to discuss that what were the circumstances and how this marriage occurred. Clear all of you? About this author, I just want to tell you, Masti Venkatesh Iyengar. This is the name of our author who has written this story. He was born on 6th of June 1891 and he died 6th of June 1986. Clear? He was a very well-known writer in Kannada language. This character, this person, Mr. Author, he belongs to Kannada area, and in that language only he had written number of good stories also, number of good novels also. He was the fourth among Kannada writer to be honored with Janipath Award. This Janipath Award, it's supposed to be the highest literary honor conferred in India. From our India, this honor is a great honor. The writer, the author who has got this honor, it's supposed to be a very well-known writer. And this writer, Mr. Iyengar, he is supposed to be the fourth one who has got this award. He was popularly referred to as Masti Kannad Asti, which means Masti Kannad's treasure. Clear? This is a name given to this person. And the meaning is that is a treasure from Kannad area. Clear? He is very well renowned for his short stories. He has written number of short stories, and basically for such kind of stories only, this Masti Venkatesh Iyengar, he was very famous. He wrote under the pen name Srinivasa. This is a pen name. Clear? Pen name, pseudonym. This before also I told you children. With such type of name, writers are usually writing. He wrote under the pen name Srinivasa and he was honored with the title Raj Vatsaka by then Maharaja of Mysore, Nalbadi Krishnaraja Vediyar. Clear? This Raja who was the Raja of Mysore, he had given him honor and this name also. A prolific writer, he wrote more than 123 books in Kannada and 17 in English. Over the course of 70 years, he won Janipath Award in 1983 for his novel Chikkavira Rajendra. And this Chikkavira Rajendra, he had got a big award also. Clear? In the year 1983. So this is all about our writer. Now children, before starting our short story, Ranga's Marriage, I just want to discuss about the characters of this of our story. Actually, there are numerous characters. Number of characters are there. But basically, major characters we have this much. We have Shyama, first character. Shyama, he is the writer, he is the narrator here who is living in Hoshahali village. Clear? Hoshahali, this village belongs to Karnataka area. Clear? From this area only this this narrator is there who will narrate us the story. Then another character is Ranga. He was the son of village accountant. Clear children? Village accountant. Again I am telling you something very important which is related with Ranga. Why this Ranga is so famous in our story? Because he is accountant's son. Clear? Then we have next character, that is Ratna. He is only 11-year-old girl and he is Rama Rao's niece. Now in this story, this childhood marriages, which is supposed to be a we can say a very bad thing in our society, this is also discussed somehow. But that time period was different when the story was written, the interior area, the village area, that is mentioned. That is why this girl, she is only 11 years. And then we have Shastri, he is a village astrologer. Among village, we are having people who will tell us about our future. That type of person this Shastri is. So we have major four characters. First one is Shyama, who is the narrator here. Then we have Ranga, who is the main major character here. Ratna, the girl related with this boy Ranga. Then we have Shastri as a village astrologer. Clear children? So basic major four character. Other than this one, we have a number of other characters also. Now children, let me start the summary of our short story Ranga's Marriage. We have Ranga's Marriage by Masti Venkatesh Iyengar is a story about a boy who returns to his village after receiving education in English medium school from Bangalore. Okay, this Bangalore is a very famous place. In this Bangalore, very small village is there. From that village, actually, this boy Ranga belongs to. But he has completed his education in the area of Bangalore, and afterward he had returned to village. The boy is the son of accountant, the village. Clear? This I am telling you in the beginning also when I was discussing you the character, that this boy, Ranga, he is an accountant's son. This is a very special feature of this boy, Ranga. They live in a village, Hoshahali in Mysore. Now this Hoshahali, this is the name of the village. From this village, this Ranga belongs to. The boy when returns, the whole village floods over him to see if there is any change in the personality. Now you just imagine, like you children also, your elder brother and sister, they are going out for studies. Okay, after becoming an engineer, after becoming a doctor, they just come back. So what kind of welcome they will get? They will get welcome only from the family members. Rest others, they are not very much interested that who is come, how they have come. But here when this boy, he had completed his education and he is back to his house, to his village. Number of people are there who had gathered him and who were waiting for him. And what is the thing what they wanted to see? That is there any change? So children, you have to imagine what kind of change is it? Is it a hairstyle change or a physical change or some kind of changes? But they wanted to see that is there any change? And then, however, to their dismay, he still has the same eyes, mouth and everything. Clear? Eyes definitely same, mouth definitely same, features, face, everything was same. He is as it is Ranga, who had already completed education, and after completing that education, he is back to the village. He did the traditional namaskar and all dispersed. Okay? Traditional namaskar, children, basically from our India, we are assuming that if the child is back, from anywhere the child is back, the child is supposed to be with the full, full respect. The child has to bow in front of a person and the child must say namaskar. So with that namaskar, what is the quality of that person which is shown? That the child is very much respectful towards other. No? And when they had seen the boy is doing as it is namaskar, afterwards everybody dispersed from the area. Clear? So those people, they just want to see that the values which he had taken before, no, as he was leaving from the village, same value he is having just now also or not. So that feature, that quality only they wanted to see. And when the person was doing the same thing, after watching that, everybody dispersed from the area. Clear all of you? Okay. Then, the story is a first person narrative and the major portion of the story is in flashback. So children, as in your book also, when you read the story, at some point or at some instances, you are supposed to be confused, but that is a flashback. Clear? The story already completed in the past and now the narrator is telling us the things in present time. So this is a first person narrative. I think first person narrative you all know. One speaker who is speaking all the things. So everywhere this I is used. The speaker directly addresses the reader. The narrator is a neighbor of the protagonist. So protagonist, I think you know. Clear? Okay, so narrator, he is a neighbor of the protagonist. Then he introduces the story with a difference by first giving a detailed description of the village Hoshahali. So as this Shyama, he is narrating the story. First of all, he is explaining us the importance of Hoshahali, why this village is so important. He praises the mangoes from his village. Okay, first thing, he is telling the mangoes are very delicious. He started praising, and then he asked the reader if he has ever heard of the village. Then he is asking us also. We are the reader of the story, and this Shyama, he is the narrator. So he is asking us that have you ever heard? And if I also as a narrator, I will ask you, children, have you heard about this Hoshahali? So your answer would be no. Clear? Because that is a small interior village. The person who is living in America, and we are asking the person, do you know about Jhabua? So person definitely said no. No? Maybe he or she knows about MP, but I don't think so the person ever heard about Jhabua, because it's an interior place of MP. So in the same way, our answer would be no, that no, we don't know Hoshahali. Then he replies to the question himself, for the village was not located in any of the map for English babus, and the ones in our country forget to put it there. See, some reasons are there why he is telling that you don't know about this Hoshahali. First reason is this one, that because that time our India, that was in the clutches of Britishers. So those English babu, he is talking about the Britishers, they forget that they have to mention the name of Hoshahali in India, in Karnataka. And on the other hand side, the people, our own Indian people, those who were making the maps, they did not know about this Hoshahali, and they did not want to locate the area in the map. So two reasons are there according to Shyama, the narrator. Then he introduces Ranga, the protagonist. Okay, this protagonist, again the word is repeated. Exactly, protagonist means the main character of a story, whom the story revolves around. Clear? So for us, the Ranga, he is supposed to be the protagonist. In a time 10 years ago, Ranga had gone to Bangalore for studies and returned home after 6 months. So this much time period is over. He went there, he completed his study there, and after completing his studies, he is back to his village. So this much is our beginning part. It was the time when the English was a language and popular for few people who used it. It is the time, see children, again I am telling you, narrator already mentioned this is the time period when India was not free. India was under the clutches of Britishers. So that time period what was happening, English was a language. No? We are not denying that language is not there. English was a language, but it was not very much popular, and not very much popular for the people, those who were using it. Because really handful of people, only Britishers and the people, those who are working for them, that much people use English. Rest other Indians, they were not using this language. All used to converse in Kannada, because this is the story of Karnataka, so people were conversing in Kannada language. No? More than Hindi and English, they were using their regional language. All the villagers arrived at Ranga's place and began scrutinizing him. Clear? All the people, when they heard that this Ranga is back to the village, all of them, they were near his house, and they wanted to speak with him, they wanted to ask him. To their dismay, he was still the same old Ranga, and they left disappointed. Clear? So that curiosity was there, like what kind of changes are there in Ranga? No? Like children, a newly bride has arrived in the colony. So what do we want to see? We want to see that is there any change? She is a girl, like other girls, she is a girl. But we want to see that what are the new things she is wearing, what are the new ways she is speaking. Clear? In the same way with Ranga also, they wanted to see that is there any change in Ranga, but they went back disappointed. However, the narrator stayed back and shared a few jokes with the boy and then left. Narrator Shyama. Clear? He is still there. All the people, they left the house, but this Shyama, he is still waiting for him. He was talking with the boy. Clear? Some kind of jokes they were sharing, and after that conversation only, this Shyama, he left the area. Later in the afternoon, Ranga arrived at the narrator's home with few oranges. But again, same evening he is back. Now he is having few oranges with him. The narrator judged the boy and felt it appropriate to marry such a well-educated and humble boy. So this narrator, he is assuming something. In his mind, something going on. He is thinking that the boy is very well educated. Boy is humble enough, the way he was doing namaskar. Clear? In that way, he is thinking boy is very much humble enough. For that kind of person, there must be a suitable partner. I have to search a bride for this person. He put his views on the marriage in front of the narrator, then wanted to get married to a girl who is mature and someone Rangappa could admire. Clear? So he is asking Ranga that what kind of marriage, what kind of girl would you like to marry? Clear? He is asking some few basic questions that according to you, do you want to get married? But what happened? Some of the views on marriage in front of the narrator, then he wanted to get married to a girl who is supposed to be mature. Okay? According to Ranga, the girl, she is not a childish one. Clear? She is mature enough. Clear? And on the other hand side, someone Rangappa could admire. A person whom I can admire. Clear? See children, nowadays we are seeing in society some of the couples, they used to fight and fight. No? Like educated person also. No? In some of the families we have commonly seen. So what is the reason? Because they don't understand each other. They don't want to admire each other. That is why somehow we have seen that the lady of the house, she doesn't like the ways the husband is behaving. Somehow how the husband behaves, the lady behaves, that is not liked by the husband. So that clashes would be there, and because of that clashes, some kind of conversation, wrong conversation would be there among the partners. No? So Ranga is telling a person whom I can admire, first thing, and on the other hand side, the girl must be mature. No? In the beginning only children, I told you she is only 11 years. Now you can imagine, nowadays time you can imagine a girl who is only 11 years. What is the thinking of the girl? She is supposed to be childish, clear? She never wants to want to understand anything. No, that kind of personality. Because at the age of 11, we are not expecting the child to be mature enough. But here he is telling that the girl should be mature. Okay. So children, up to here only I am going to stop my video. Now in my next video, I just try to complete my story. So till that time, thank you all of you.